Hey guys, it's Brian and Jake with the Midnight Mechanic. Today we're going to show you how to replace the front brake caliper in your Ford Ranger. Now this is Jake's 1999 Ford Ranger, and I'm going to go ahead and put new front brake calipers on it just to be safe. I want everything on the front end of his truck to be new when he starts driving the thing. So we're going to go ahead and replace it. I was going to do the brakes anyway. Calipers are relatively cheap, and I figured I would just go ahead and do it because the passenger side one was a little bit questionable, so I'm just going to replace them as a pair. So we're going to show you how to do it. It's actually really easy, especially if you're already doing a brake job on your truck. It's really easy to do, so we're going to show you. So when you replace your caliper, obviously the first thing you need to do is to go ahead and get it off. It's really easy to do. There's two bolts that hold it to the spindle, and those are back here. You can see there's one right down here, and up here, kind of behind it, there's another one right in there. All right, so Jake's going to go ahead and remove those two 15mm bolts off the back of the spindle. That way we can go ahead and get that caliper off and remove that brake rotor also. So those bolts are on there really tight a lot of the time. So if it helps, put a little pipe on the end of your ratchet. That way you can get it off. Sometimes it gets on there so tight that you can't get it off even with a breaker bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with a rubber mallet. You don't want to hit it with a heavy mallet, but a rubber mallet will have less shock on it. So you can go ahead and get it out a little easier. So now that the caliper is unbolted, we can go ahead and remove it off of the rotor. This one's stuck on there a little bit. I think the brake hoses are failing, so we're going to go ahead and pull it off. It's a little stuck. Pull off the side and set it up out of the way. That way it won't be getting into anything. You can get a hook to hang it from up here, or you can just set it off to the side just so it's not touching anything and getting this hose damaged. Top side here. Now this is a 9/16. Jake's going to go ahead and remove this. We're going to remove that caliper. We're replacing that caliper, so we're going to get it out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and replace this hose. Yep. Now brake fluid is going to come out when you do this. Turn this flat so that hole is facing upwards.
What do you mean?
Turn the caliper so the hole is facing upwards. So the caliper is going to be filled up. Rotate it so it's like this. That way none of that comes out. You can set it down out of the way. This is going to continue leaking. Try to get it up as high as you can. Locking it in there somehow. Doing whatever you can to get that up as high as you can, because if it's low, it'll all drain out of it. It's still going to come out of there, but if you have it really low, it's going to drain out really fast, and it could empty out your brake master cylinder, which you don't want. So now this is going to be the same whether or not it's on the workbench or not, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the brake pads on here just because I'm replacing the rotor, and it's a lot easier to do it while it's on a flat surface. If you're not replacing your caliper, it's going to have to be while it's on the car because the brake hose is going to be attached. You don't want to take that off. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to show you how to install the brake pads while it's on here, but it's exactly the same as it would be if it was still on the vehicle. So the way this works is this is an anti-rattle clip. It keeps the pad from rattling around. It keeps it placed. This goes down in here, and it snaps on the top side of the caliper. Like that. See that right in there? Now the pads will ride on those little springs on the outside and keep it from rattling around. These right here are the sliders. That's where the pads are going to slide on. They go in the grooves right here, and they sit locked in here. So what you do is you get that upside down like this in there. It's kind of a pain in the butt to wiggle them in there, but you can get them in, and then they snap on there kind of like that. You can kind of see that there. Now what I normally do is press that middle piece in there. And sometimes you can use a screwdriver or something like that. You want it in there, and you want it as flush as possible on these edges because it's a tight fit for those pads, and you want to make sure that they're sitting in there and they don't try to slide off. So now we got that one in there. I'm going to go ahead and install the other side here too. So now those are on there, I can go ahead and start installing the pads. Now what I do is I put a little bit of grease, and you're going to want to put grease in those two little notches where the pads ride. So right in here, over here, over here, and over here. That way it's greased up enough that those pads will slide on there nicely. So you're going to want to get these notches in the side. Now it's going to want to push up because of those spring clip on the top. What I found is to slide it like this in there and then push it back. It's going to be a pain because these little tangs right here ride on that top spring clip. So if you get it in like this and then rotate it, you can push that spring clip down, which is still a pain, but at least it's a little bit easier. Now you can see that popped right in there. That was a lot easier than it normally does on this truck. So I'm pretty happy with that one. Now we can go ahead and install the top one, doing it the exact same way. There we go. It's probably a whole lot easier using a new caliper. These are actually not that expensive, so if you want to replace your caliper, you can. But I would just recommend using the old ones if they look fine. Now we're going to go ahead and reinstall this caliper and the rotor on the truck. All right, so now we have everything done. I went ahead and put a new rotor on it, obviously because I'm putting new pads on there. Now we're going to install the caliper. Don't install the hose yet. Go ahead and bolt the caliper on first using those bolts. So once we get that on there, then we're going to go ahead and reinstall that hose. It just makes it easier to get it on there tight if it's already on the truck and you're not having it dangle around. It's easier to reinstall it without having that attachment to it. So we're going to go ahead and bolt it on the truck. So the one thing is to make sure you know where your bolt holes are before you get it on there. This one is almost directly on top behind the spindle, right by the ball joint, and the other one is down on the side about right here. Now that you know that, you can get the caliper on rather than getting it in a weird position. Once you get it on there, you can go ahead and install the bolts. Now, one of the things we're going to do is I'm actually going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on there. Don't use red, just use blue. It'll keep it tight without getting it completely seized on there, but it'll also help keep it from backing off. So we're going to go ahead and use this blue Loctite on those bolts to get it ready to go. Now that I have those bolts sitting there ready to go on here, I'm going to go ahead and install that caliper sitting right on here. Then I can go ahead and run a bolt in the back and move it around until it hits the hole and I can tighten it down. You can look around the back like this and visually find where the bolt's going to go into it. Now that it's in there like that, I can go ahead and stick the bottom one in a whole lot easier. You can kind of manipulate it just a little bit, rotating on that front side till you find the hole. Now that they're in there, you can go ahead and tighten down those bolts really tight to make sure it doesn't come out again. Make sure those bolts are really tight because you do not want them to back out. Now that you have that done, you can go ahead and reinstall your brake hose. Now we're going to reinstall the brake hose on the caliper. These little crush washers right here are going to go on either side of the brake hose end. And this banjo bolt right here, you can see it has a hole on the side here and in the bottom. That's where brake fluid is going to flow through actually. It's going to come in the side, go through here, come out here into the caliper. So you got to make sure that you have the correct crush sleeves on here. Sometimes the old ones get stuck like this one. We're going to go ahead and pick off the old one and reinstall these new ones onto the caliper. So this yellow plug right here is actually where we're going to attach that brake hose to. Remove that yellow cap And you can throw this away, but I actually like to keep these just in case I have a caliper or something that I'm trying to keep fluid from coming out. Now you can just stick that in there. So I normally keep these caps. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take that banjo bolt. I'm going to put one of those crush washers on it. And now it has this notch here. This notch is going to go facing up because otherwise it won't sit on there properly. So it's going to go like this. We're going to go the crush washer down in there. Now you're going to put a crush washer on the back side. And now you can bolt it down to the caliper. Don't cross thread it. Make sure it's on there good, but not cross threaded. You should be able to get it in there finger tight. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and reinstall this. Make sure this doesn't rotate. It'll hit this right here before it does it, but I like to try and keep it as square as I can. Not like it really matters, but now you can go ahead and tighten it down. Tighten it down really tight because you don't want any leak there. Once you have it tightened down, those crush washers will seal it up really nicely and everything will work just like it should. Now you're all ready to go. You can start filling it up with fluid and start bleeding your brakes. So now that everything's together, we're going to go ahead and start bleeding the brakes. So Chase is in there and he's going to go ahead and pump the brakes to get as much air pushed out as he can. Then I'm going to open the bleeder to push out any air that's built up to the top. We already did it a little bit, but now we're going to show you the best way to do it with two people. So when you're bleeding the brakes, one of the things you also need to know is that if you do something like replace your master cylinder or your ABS pump or anything like that, a lot of times if you do your ABS pump, you're going to need a special tool in order to bleed all the air out of it. But if you're doing anything that introduces a lot of air into your system, it's important that you do the furthest tire back from the master cylinder. So you would start with the passenger side rear, driver side rear, passenger side front, driver side front, because you want to get all the air out of the system from furthest back to closest to it. So it's not very difficult to bleed your brakes. It just takes a little time and you have to know which ones you're going to do because certain systems have different T's and things in there and you just want to get all the air out of the system from the back to the front, furthest to closest. So this is your bleeder right here. What you need to do is crack that open and it'll allow the pressure to come out and push the air out along with some fluid. Now you don't need to put anything on there. It'll just shoot out, but it gets everywhere. So what I normally do is I normally have a hose that I use off of my Mighty Vac, which honestly you could use a Mighty Vac. I haven't really had much luck with that, so I'm not even going to show you how to do that. But what I do is I hook this hose up to it, so that way when I crack open the bleeder, it pushes it in the hose and down into the little container here instead of spraying it everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on the end. And what Chase is going to do is he's going to pump the brakes 3 times slowly. 1, 2, 3. And then on the fourth one, he's going to hold it down all the way. And when he holds it down, he's going to yell, hold, and I'm going to crack the thing open and let air out and then close it back almost immediately. So go for it, Chase. All right, one more time. All right, one more. So once it's like this and you open it up and no air comes out and it's just all fluid, you know that there's no air left in the system and your brakes are completely bled and you're good to go. So now you see how easy it is to do the brake caliper on your truck. More than likely you're going to be doing the brakes at the same time, and if you need to know how to do that, go ahead and look at our other video. If there's anything else you'd like to learn about, post down below in the comments. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at The Midnight Mech, TikTok at The Midnight Mechanic, and subscribe to our channel to see more how-tos in all of our shows. And we'll see you guys next time.